Hi Austin, I'm going to go over a few examples for you for similar shapes. Here we go. Alright, you probably already have this down, but the definition of similar, the angles of the shapes remain the same and the sides are proportional, so they have the same ratio. Okay? If two polygons are similar, then the ratio of the lengths to two corresponding sides is called the scale factor, which we'll be talking a lot about today. Alright, so first one we have to decide if this is similar or not. So we want to set up our ratios. So if I look at this, 15 would be the same side on this triangle as probably 10. So I'm going to set this up as 15 over 10, and now I have to simplify it. 5 goes into both of these, so I'm going to get 3 over 2. That's one side. Now I have to do the other side, which would be 8 over 3. Now this can't be simplified. Now since these two are not the same, these are not similar. Okay? And the reason we only had to do 2 on this one is because this is a rectangle. This would be 15, this would be 8, this is 10, and this is 3. So since we've done that, we know that these aren't proportional, so we're going to leave it as this, not similar. Now, if we look at one like this, we have 4 different sides, so we have to do all 4. Okay? So I'll start with this one. I'm just going to go, okay, 5 and 10. So 5 over 10, and I need to see all this work whenever I ask you to show something is similar, okay? So this is going to be 1/2. Next one, we'll do 6 and 12. 6 over 12, which also equals 1/2, so we're on a good start. No, 4 and 8, so 4 over 8, which equals 1/2. That's good for us too. Check our very last one, 7 and 14. 7 over 14 is 1/2. So since these are all the same, they are similar. Now since we just have shown that they're similar, I also want us to say what is our scale factor. Now our scale factor is just our ratio that's been simplified. So our scale factor for this one is 1/2. Alright. Alright, let's do this one. Now, this one I tell you that it is similar. Alright, so I tell you that it's similar. Now what we have to do first is decide what the scale factor is. Now it wants it from this shape to this shape, so this one has to be on top. This one's going to be on the bottom. So we have to start over here. And now I would need to look and find one that has the same on both sides. So if I look here, I have 15 and 9. Same spot on the different shapes, so I can use those to create my scale factor. So I'm going to have 15 over 9. 3 goes into both of those, so I'm going to get 5 all over 3. That's my scale factor. Now I can use my scale factor to set up proportions to solve for whatever they want me to solve for. So they want me to find TW. So TW is right here. I'm going to put an X there. So I'm going to use my scale factor. It's 15 over 3 equals, 5 over 3. Since X is on the same side as the proportion that 5 would be on, I'm going to put X over, and if I come over here, 6 is in the same spot as X, so I'm going to put this here. Now all I'm going to do is cross multiply. So I'm going to get 3x equals 30. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 10. So this side here would equal 10. So this side and this side over here is 6. Now it says find the measure length of TUV. So now we know that on both of our figures, our angles have to be the same. So if this is 70, then this has to be 70. Okay. Now we have to think back a little bit. If we see here, this is a parallel line, and this is a parallel line, and they want us to find this angle right here. And if you recall back, these, the 70 degrees and this angle, I'll call it Y, are on the same side, so they're same side interior angles. So Y plus 70 has to equal 180. Subtract 70 from both sides. Y is going to equal 110. Sorry, a little interruption there. Alright. So there we're going to have something that look like this as well. Alright, moving on to this one. They want us, okay, they're telling us that these two triangles are similar. Now we have to find the value of x and y. So same thing again, we have to find the sides that both have numbers. So we have 4 and 6. So 4 over 6, that's like my scale factor, okay, is going to equal, I'm going to solve for x first. So here's my x. X is on the same side as 6, so it has to go on the bottom. Now I go to the same triangle and I go, okay, 6 is on the same spot as x, so that's going to go on the top. And now I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to get 36 equals 4x. Divide both sides by 4. And I'm going to get x equals 9. Now I have to solve for y. So I'm going to use this, my scale factor. Again, you can simplify it if you want, or you can just leave it. Here's y. Y is on the same side as 6, so it's going to go on the bottom. And then I have 8 over my other triangle. So I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to get 48 equals 4y, divide both sides by 4, y equals 12. So you're going to see something like that as well. Alright, here we go. Last one, we're going to find the length of the altitude. And on some of yours it says the same thing, but just solve for y. Yours is called y. So I'm just going to, this is my altitude right here. That's what I need to solve for. So if I look at this one, this whole thing right here could add up to what? 12. So that side's 12. This side over here, 8 plus 8 is 16. So I can use those two to set out my scale factor, my proportion. So 12 over 16 equals, I need to find x. So x over, altitude on this one is 20. Now we're just going to cross multiply. And I get 16x equals, sorry, I didn't have this one solved, 12 times 20, which is 240. Divide both sides by 16. And x equals 15. Alright, so there are going to be a few on your worksheet that ask you to find, it says altitude or the blue line and you can't see it because it's not printed in color, so just solve for y. Alright, that's all I have for you. Only other thing I'm going to say is that you're going to get some with like decimals. When you get some with decimals, say if you had like 10.3, what I'm going to recommend that you do is you use your calculator and you put 10.3 and you change it into a fraction, which would equal 10 and 3/10. After you get into like a mixed number, I want you to change it into an improper fraction. Okay, so it's going to be 103 over 10. Now, to change from a fraction to an improper fraction, you take this times this, so you would get 100, and then you have to add the 3. So you get 103 over 10. Now, if you do this and then set it up as a ratio to solve, it will help you out a lot. If you get stuck on those ones with decimals, don't worry so much. I'm not very worried about those. Just try your best. I hope this helped out a lot, and I hope you have a wonderful day. All right, bye.